by fans of high-quality entertainment and happy Thanksgiving. Now, you might be wondering, if you're not Canadian, happy Thanksgiving. It's not Thanksgiving. But as you can see here, in Canada, we celebrate it the second Monday in October. And then, of course, the United States, the fourth Thursday in November. And then, it's different for different countries. So in Google this morning, I put in the question, what are the top 10 albums that didn't sell very well by artists that had at some point best-selling albums? And it gave me, I'm not sure how accurate this list is, but it seems pretty accurate to me. And so here we go, from 10 to 1. What do you think the number one worst selling album by a band that at one point had a best-selling album? You're going to find out. The Beatles? No way. Yeah. So the Beatles, 1969, Yellow Submarine. It sold 2 million copies, which, I guess for the Beatles is kind of low. And a little text here. Soundtrack, Platinum, US, 1 million. Band's bestseller is Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, 32 million worldwide. But, yeah, Yellow Submarine with 2 million. It really only had 4 new Beatles songs, or Beatles songs that Beatles fans hadn't heard when this album came out. And then, of course, Yellow Submarine and All You Need Is Love were already out on other albums. And then side 2 was the, George Martin orchestration for Yellow Submarine, which was nice, but at least for me, I wasn't too interested in that. But I still bought the album. I don't know about you. So number 9. Yep, the Zombies, Odyssey, and Oracle. So, it's pretty well known as a 60s classic now, but it struggled when it first came out in 1968. So yeah, it went gold in the US later. Barely charted initially. Band broke up. Band's bestseller is the album Long Term. Oh, this is the band's best-selling album, over the years, but when it was released, it did not do well at all. It's a great album. Number 8, a little bit of a surprise with this one too. Simon and Garfunkel, Wednesday Morning, 3 a.m. from 1964. Initial sales, 3,000. Boosted later by hits. Duo's bestseller is Bridge Over Troubled Water with 25 million worldwide. Number 7. Oh, and as always, please remember to like the video, leave a comment below after you watch the video. Make sure you're subscribed. And there's this new thing I've seen recently where sometimes it says hype. So I guess if you click the hype button, it helps the video. So if you ever see that on my videos, please click the hype button. Thank you. Next up is number 7, another kind of surprising album. Queen 2 from 1974. Least remembered early album. I don't know about that. I remember it. Gold in UK, 100,000. Band's bestseller is Greatest Hits with 25 million worldwide. So I guess it didn't do as well in, it did pretty well in the UK, and then in other countries maybe not as well when it was first released. Number 6, Elton John, Leather Jackets from 1986. Nadir of his 1980s output, no top 40 singles. John's bestseller is Goodbye Yellow Brick Road with about 20 million worldwide. And so this album looks like it sold about 300,000, which, for some other artist, of course, it's pretty good. But for Elton John, it's not too good. Number 5. Yeah, this album I wasn't even aware of until doing this research. Foreigner, Mr. Moonlight. Worst selling for the band, peaked at number 136 US. Band's bestseller is Double Vision, around 7 million US. That album cover does not help. And if you haven't checked out my worst album covers latest video on my Canadian Studmuffin channel, please check that out. Number 4. Yeah, The Doors, Full Circle, 1972. I guess it doesn't help that Jim Morrison was not on the album, of course, because he had passed away. That's why he wasn't on the album. Post-Morrison flop, peaked at number 68 US. Band's bestseller is their debut, The Doors, 20 million worldwide. So Full Circle sold some, like they were also saying when I did this research, sometimes it's hard to estimate all of the record sales, with all of these record companies, but they're trying their best here. So between 100,000 and 300,000. This next one is number 3, David Bowie, The Buddha of Suburbia. Soundtrack with little promotion. That doesn't help. Barely charted. Bowie's bestseller is The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust, 7.5 million worldwide. And so this was originally released with this album cover, which once again isn't going to help sell the records. And then it was re-released with a much better album cover. Yeah, that's much nicer. But it was like it says here, it was for a soundtrack. And it's a, pretty good album. I like it. Number 2 from 1978. The Beach Boys' M.I.U. album. Peaked at number 151 US. Sold poorly amid band conflicts. Band's bestseller is Pet Sounds, 28 million equivalent units. All right, so we're down to number 1. And I've heard, I do remember reading that when this great album was first released, it sadly did not do very well. It is the friggin' Kinks, the Village Green Preservation Society. But it went gold in the UK in 2018 and 250,000 worldwide. Initial commercial flop with no chart entry. Band's bestseller is Greatest Hits with 4 million worldwide, a cult classic today. Yeah, I think it's my favorite Kinks album. So that is it. Let me know what you think of this. I was, like I said, kind of surprised with some of them, like the Beatles' Yellow Submarine and Simon and Garfunkel and Queen, but then other ones like Elton John and The Doors and the Beach Boys. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Please remember to leave a comment below. Have a great day and a great Thanksgiving. If you're Canadian, that is. Bye.